Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of April 29th through May 3rd. We're in part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. We'll be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen, stocks in our shopping list. We'll also discuss dividend payers as another way to generate income while we wait for our top swing trading stocks to set up, and also several option strategies as additional ways to generate income, again, while we wait for our top swing trading stocks to watch to set up. So let's get started. Welcome to Crow. Glad to see you in the chat today. Hope you're doing well. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for April 29th through May 3rd. We keep our notes in publicly accessible Google documents. You can find a direct link to this Google document in the description box below. Our notes documents contain links to bonus videos, the tools and resources we use to select and watch our top swing trading stocks to watch. If you have not already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week, titled What May the Fed Do Now?, we would highly recommend that you also view part 1, as this contains our market analysis, our trading strategies, trade ideas as input to our top swing trading stocks to watch for this week. We keep all of our Google documents with our weekly trading game plan notes in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to the notes for part 1 for this week, as well as our notes from previous weeks. And again, you can find a direct link to that publicly accessible Google Drive folder in the description box below. Welcome born to be free, Sydney Osborne. Glad to see you all in the chat today. Hope you all are doing well. So we didn't really change any positions this week, so just a quick reminder, if you would like to get real-time alerts in email when we enter or exit a trade, although again, I don't ever recommend anyone blindly follow us or anyone else into or out of a trade. You can get email notification when we enter or exit a trade by joining any level of our Patreon, and we also have several channels in our Discord available to our Patreon members with additional alerts. So the first channel is a Thinkorswim alerts channel. I also have price alerts set up in Thinkorswim. When those get triggered, they get automatically posted in the Thinkorswim alerts channel, so we can see when Pfizer hit its 52-week low, was making new 52-week lows. Those alerts were triggered in the Thinkorswim channel. If we follow up Thinkorswim alert with an actual trade, you'll see a reply in that channel when we actually make a trade, and again, you'll get email notification through Patreon, so you can see when we went long Hymex last week. If it's a trade not directly related to a Thinkorswim alert, I posted in the trade alerts channel, so you can see when we went long TSLY, which is the yield max on Tesla last week. So I posted that in the trade alerts channel. And then I also have an automated system that generates alerts when stocks are moving up, breaking out, etc. And you can get more information about how all that works via the link to the bonus video in the notes. Again, a good way to, if you're a short-term trader, day trader, momentum trader, etc., you can see sectors as they're moving up or down, sector rotation, etc., stocks breaking out, moving up near our price target, etc., via the real-time alerts in our alerts channel. So we hope that all helps. And again, you can get access to all of those channels by joining our Patreon, and we're always open to feedback as to what else you would like to see, what else would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career, added to our automated systems and posted in our alerts channel. Welcome to Ricky Khan, Ellen Krantz. Glad to see you all in the chat today. Hope you all are doing well. So now let's jump into our top swing trading stocks to watch list for this week. I'll quickly run through them, and we'll look at them in our watch list Google Sheet and also in Webull. We'll look at the charts very quickly. Most of these are ones that we've been watching for some period of time, so I'll spin through them pretty quickly. So the first one is GDXD. This is the inverse leveraged short on gold miners. Again, we looked at gold. Gold seems to be consolidating. We looked at it yesterday. Gold seems to be consolidating around 2350. Broke above up to 2360 briefly. It's hard to tell if it's going to spike back up to in touch or make a new all-time high, or if it's going to break down from here. We are already long GDXD. I probably should have put a stop in and taken a small profit when it popped up a little bit last week and then re-entered lower. I did not do so, so we're just waiting for that kind of correction pop to happen. I'll probably get a stop in at that point, and then we'll see if gold's going to break down or again spike back up and retest that high. You can hear our previous discussions on various ETFs to short gold, GDXD, DUS, DZZ, GLL, via the link to that video in our notes. Welcome, Gerald Pitts. Glad to see you as well. The next one is Pfizer. Again, you saw Pfizer recently made a new 52-week low. Do want to look at, there's kind of a mix of news on Pfizer. So I just want to show you that recent news. You can hear our previous discussion on Pfizer via the quick take video, via the link in the notes. But again, I want to go to FinViz very quickly and just show you the recent, got kind of a mixed bag of news recently. Just a quick reminder, you can find a link to FinViz, ChartMill, etc., the tools and resources we frequently use in the link section on our homepage. So if I go down to Trading Tools, go to FinViz, look up Pfizer. So again, I think Thursday, they came out and, okay, so it was, I think, Wednesday, GlaxoSmithKline GSK is suing Pfizer and BioNTech over mRNA patents relative to the vaccine. So that came out on the 25th. On Wednesday, I would expect that to be perceived negatively. So that may attribute for some of the downtrend in Pfizer. And then on Thursday, we got FDA greenlights Pfizer gene therapy for rare bleeding disorder, hemophilia. Again, that I perceive that as a positive. We didn't get much of a positive pop in Pfizer on Thursday, maybe a little bit, but again, with the markets were generally tech focused towards the end of the week. So again, I viewed that as positive news and maybe a catalyst that we'll see a pop in Pfizer based on the FDA approval. So again, I wanted to share that recent news on Pfizer with you. The last one in our top swing trading stocks to watch is ZSL. ZSL, again, is a leveraged short on silver. Again, yesterday we saw silver's currently consolidating around the 27, low 27 area. It's again unclear as to whether it's going to pop back up, retest this 52-week high around 29.90, around 30, or if it's also going to break down potentially with gold. So again, short-term opportunities if you're a short-term trader, day trader, scalper, etc. GDXD, ZSL may be attractive for short-term trades. If we do see that pop back up near 30, then I would be looking for a longer-term swing to short silver. So again, you can hear our discussion on various gold and silver ETFs via our previous video in the notes. Also a reminder, we have an automatically generated Google Sheet that we'll take a look at with our current top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen, our shopping list, etc., as well as links to various resources in our watch list Google Sheet. You can hear how to use our, how to watch our top swing trading stocks to watch, how to use our watch list Google Sheet via the links to those videos in the notes. And again, our watch list Google Sheet contains price targets, Google functions, Google Finance functions tracking the current prices, shows you the risk reward profile, links to their FinViz Pro profile, so I could have used that to see the profile of Pfizer as well. Also optionality and dividend information, so when the ex-dividend date is again, so we can see Pfizer's got an ex-dividend date of May 9th, pays a 42-cent dividend. It's got earnings on May 1st, so again, another potential catalyst or a risk with their earnings on May 1st. So again, you can track our top swing trading stocks to watch in our watch list Google Sheet. And then if I make any, that gets automatically updated at the end of each day. And then if I make any subsequent changes after that's been generated, and we also have a stocks watch list channel in our Discord, and I'll post any changes to that watch list in that stocks watch list Google Sheet in the stocks watch list channel in our Discord. So you can see when we moved MSB, when we added MSB, Masabi Trust, which we'll also take a look at back into our bullpen. I posted that in our Discord. So let's quickly take a look at those stocks in Webull. So here's my main watch list. I'm using the online browser version of Webull. Welcome, MD. Glad to see you in the chat as well. Hope you all are doing well. So again, here's GDXD, which is again the short on gold. Again, I probably should have scalped off some profit when it did that pop back on the early on the 23rd. Another just observation is I see gold has a tendency to peak early in the day and then kind of trail off. We might get a few other pops, but it seems like early in the day is when we get the majority of the movement in gold. So again, short-term trading, scalping, shorting gold. Again, if we see that pop up to all-time highs or break down, either of those I think will be an opportunity to short gold. If you want to long on a short-term basis, GDXU is the inverse of GDXD. I believe several of our BeachBum traders already have made some money trading GDXD recently. And so congratulations on that. Again, Pfizer, see it's making, retesting that 52-week low. The previous 52-week low was 25.23. See it broke down to 25.20. Looks like that's a pretty stable level. If we zoom out a little bit, you see it's a new low. But again, that area right around 25 or so seems to be a pretty stable level. The next support level I think is 24.20. So we'll see if this level holds. We may again go long Pfizer. Again, earnings is May 1st, so that may be some risk, but we see, short term it's got some decent upside, and then obviously longer term it's been much higher. ZSL, again, the short on silver. So we see that popped up when silver, spiked and then broke down from that 30 level. See, it's pretty flat right now as silver's consolidating around that 27 level. So uncertain as to whether silver's going to pop up again or break down from here. Welcome, Walter Lyons. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. So let me grab a quick drink and then we'll quickly go through our bullpen stocks for this week as well. Okay, if you're new to our community, the concept of bullpen stocks are ones that don't necessarily have the setup that we like for our top swing trading stocks to watch right now, but they may in the near future. So we put them in the bullpen, revisit them periodically. If their setup improves, and we put them in the game, move them up to our top swing trading stocks to watch list. Now that we also have our bullpen stocks updating in near real time in our watch list Google Sheet, I can track them more frequently in our watch list Google Sheet as well. So some of these, I might take a trade on in the very near term. So the first one we've had in our bullpen for a little while is CRT, Cross Timbers Royalty Trust. It's a trust on oil and gas, pays a monthly dividend. You can hear more of our analysis on Cross Timbers Royalty Trust via the link to that bonus video in the notes. Talked about MSB, Masabi Trust, again, a small steel company. When we see rotation, sector rotation in and out of steel, we like MSB. Again, you can hear the discussion on why we like MSB as a steel stock to trade for sector rotations in and out of steel via that link to the bonus video. Also, they're paying a 29-cent dividend, but it goes ex-dividend on the 30th. So if we're going to buy it, we probably have to buy it Monday, I guess. I think, yeah, we'd have to buy it Monday if we want to get that dividend before the 30th. So again, we also have our bullpen stocks in the bullpen tab in our watch list Google Sheet. So here it's showing MSB has a ex-dividend of $4.29. So again, we may have already missed that dividend on MSB. And I actually have an order out on MSB. I think it's 1659 or something like that. It's below the 52-week low, which is 1668, but it looked like that was the next block buy on the bid. So this is kind of choppy, illiquid, so I missed it a number of times before it bounced. So I think I've got an order sitting out there at 1659 right now, just in case we get that dip and it hits that block buy. So may have a position pretty quickly. When it goes ex-dividend, that may hit as well. So I might want to pull that when it goes ex-dividend on Monday. Cross Timbers Trust, you can see we're looking at the 52-week low at 1250. It's a bit above that, and we'll see that also in Webull. So here's our bullpen watch list in Webull. And you can have all kinds of different watch lists in Webull. It's easy to jump between them. And we see CRTs popped up. I thought about pulling it, and then it kind of looks like it might be coming back down. We'll see. We did see that sector rotation out of energy into technology late last week, so we'll see if that gives us a dip in CRT to buy, collect that monthly dividend. Again, you can see it's kind of, choppy, illiquid, low float as well, so I might have to put a standing order down here, 1270, 1250, to pick up CRT. And we can see, MSB is pretty choppy as well. It pops up pretty quickly. Again, I've got an order sitting, down there. There's 1668, 52-week low. So we'll see if it retests that. Again, I might have to adjust that order on Monday. So let me grab another quick drink and we'll talk about our shopping list stocks. Just a quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, still get 75 free fractional shares of stock if you open an account and fund it with 25K or more. If you fund it with 25K or less, you get 20 free fractional shares of stock. I believe they're still offering up to a 4.5% match on contributions to an IRA. They also have a special offer on futures that expires on the 30th. So again, if you're not already using Webull, we prefer Webull as our trading platform for our market analysis, due diligence, the majority of our trading. And if you'd please use our affiliate link in the description box below, get your free fractional shares of stock and also help support our BeachBum trading community, which we greatly appreciate. So the concept of our shopping list stocks, again, we always recommend that you have a list of shopping list stocks that you want to buy on any kind of irrational reaction to earnings, on any dips. What are the stocks that you want to, buy and potentially hold for some period of time going forward? Again, when we saw that, decline in the market, we've also seen some semi-irrational reactions to earnings, like in Meta. I'll talk about that in a second. So again, have your shopping list ready to take advantage of those irrational reactions to earnings, dips in the market, etc. Again, we've got the Fed decision coming up. Some stocks may react negatively to that discussion and might be an opportunity to buy. Again, as I mentioned, I'm considering, probably will add Meta to our shopping list. It's still relatively high, above a price that I'd like to buy it. I'm not a real big fan of Meta, and you can hear my previous due diligence video that I did for the beginner trading channel via the link to that video in the notes, so you can hear my previous thoughts on Meta. But we'll probably put Meta in the shopping list if it does continue to come down, which I do think it probably will. It might be, we saw it ran, from its previous bottom pretty nicely, so it might be a good profit opportunity. So we also have our shopping list stocks in our watch list Google sheet. So again, you can see the stocks we have in our watch list, number of the mega caps, the Magnificent Seven, Microsoft, Amazon. We're currently long APLY, which is the yield max dividend payer on Apple. We're also long TSLY, which is the yield max dividend payer on Tesla. See Pfizer. We also have several REITs we like, LTC, Stag. We're currently long land. We watch JEPI, JEPQ. Another one that might be coming down that based on earnings is IBM. See, it's been dropping. So if it comes down around that 120, 114 level, we'd possibly be looking at a long position in IBM. Also Disney. So again, you can see what we've got in our watch list. And if you have any other recommendations for what we should add or cull from our watch list, we'd love to hear that as well. Yeah, and Crow is mentioning the FBL Meta 2X ETF that we discussed yesterday. So if you missed that yesterday, Crow, we went over those Granite Shares single stock ETFs and shared and thanked you for the link to that reference. So yeah, we talked about the various Granite Shares single stock ETFs yesterday. And we'll probably release that discussion as a separate video, as soon as we're able. So next we'll talk about dividend payer stocks. Again, we have a Google sheet that we use to help us identify dividend payers, build us an income strategy, collecting dividends on various dividend payers with the risk-reward profile that we like. And again, you can get 24/7 access to all of our Google Sheets by joining our Patreon at the All Access or VIP level. So again, you can use this to generate your own schedule and find the best dividend paying stocks to generate your own schedule of dividend payers. We have a whole series of videos on how you can use our dividend payers Google Sheet to identify the dividend payers to generate your income with dividends with the profile risk reward schedule that you would like. Got one addition. Carmen mentioned BEP. last week, so I want to look at BEP in a little more detail. So I've done the research on that in the ad sheet in our dividend payers. Again, you can use the ad sheet in our dividend payers Google Sheet to do research on other dividend payers, and we've shown examples of how you can do that again in our previous videos. But I'll jump over there in a second and we'll look at BEP. So I'll go to the ad sheet. We'll do a search for BEP. Zoom this up a little bit. So BEP, Brookfield Renewable Partners, LP. So it's a renewable partners company. You see the risk reward profile. So support to resistance about 1.4. We see the net yields negative because the performance has been pretty negative this year. Currently, the risk reward profile is not bad. Bottom to top's pretty attractive, so it's definitely been in decline recently. It pays a 36-cent dividend quarterly, so it's got 7% yield. If we look at the profiles for this in FinViz, so Brookfield Renewable Partners, utilities, it's Bermuda-based, renewable utility. So again, it's been kind of in decline. Does look like it's hit a support level at about 20. So again, paid a 35-cent dividend in February, 34 in November, so quarterly dividend. It is optionable. Got quite a bit of debt. Not a lot of discrepancy in the outstanding and float. Again, performance pretty negative this year. Again, renewables kind of out of favor. We look at the description, portfolio of renewable power and sustainable energy assets. So again, right now the sentiment's been pretty negative. Solar is taking a big hit. Again, we've got higher for longer interest rates. So a lot of these renewables projects are hampered by lack of funding. See, they were losing money, might be turning around. So EBITDA, EPS, again, they were losing money. Looks like it might be turning around. So this might be a longer term turnaround play. And again, then you can collect that dividend. Again, with the high debt that they have, again, it's a utility. So utilities tend to have high debt. They tend to be sensitive to interest rates. So again, this might get hit some, if we continue to hear the higher for longer and cuts get deferred, interest rate cuts get deferred. And we'll again hear more about that on Wednesday. But again, long-term turnaround story potentially. And you can see the risk-reward profile for BEP now in the ad sheet in our Google Sheet, Dividend Payers Google Sheet. So Carmen, hopefully that answers your question. Hopefully that helps. If you or anyone else has any other input on BEP or other dividend payers, we'd love to hear that. Put it in the comments to this video or in our Discord. If anybody else in the chat has any specific dividend payers you'd like to look at, please throw those up in the chat. If I missed your previous comment, I apologize. But yeah, please put those back up in the chat. We can take a quick look at that. MD's asking about AON. I don't know if that's a dividend payer or not, but we can look at what AON is for MD. This is a insurance broker, Irish insurance broker. Looks like it does pay a dividend, so it's quarterly dividend, 62 cents. Looks pretty flat. Pretty flat. Looks like it's dropped recently. Looks like it bounced off that support. Got some pretty good support off that longer term trend line. Looks like otherwise, it's relatively high, so not a whole lot of upside. Potentially some more downside. Again, seems like there's some pressure on insurance. Debt's not too bad. It is optionable. They are making money. Floats discrepancy not bad. Performance for the year minus 13. Focus on risk capital, claim management, reinsurance, analytics and benefits, pensions, investments. Pretty broad, sounds like. Probably worth some, if you're interested in this, it's probably worth digging into. The types of insurance that they cover. Again, homeowners, there's here in Florida, California, etc. There's a lot of pressure on the insurance companies. Do make a lot of money. So their EPS been going up. Net income's going up, so that looks pretty good. Recent dip. Looks like their earnings call, so it sounds like they missed on revenue, missed EPS, so their earnings were bad. So again, if you think that was an anomaly, if you listen to the details of their earnings call and why they missed their revenue and EPS, possibly a buy the dip opportunity in AON. So again, MD, if you have further information about AON or further comments, we'd love to hear those. Not one I'm otherwise very familiar with, and I would recommend digging in further detail on the types of insurance, their exposure for hurricanes, things like that. Also inflation, is that what's pressuring them at this time? So again, I hope that helps. So some dividend payers to note. Again, we're long APLY. That's the monthly dividend payer on Apple. Don't like big lots. They're losing money. I have a video previously discussing big lots. CVS, not a fan of CVS. Dust is a short on gold, another option, but again, it's a leverage short, so not really one I'd look at for dividends. EFC, mortgage-backed REITs, not a fan of mortgage-backed REITs. GNL's losing money. We're already long Hymex, and their dividend is an annual dividend. Hershey has been holding up pretty well. IEF and IEI, pretty stable, bond-based, although bonds have been going down recently, so I take a look at those. They're still above their support, their 52-week low. But again, pretty stable, not a lot of upside either. But again, if you're interested in stability, we're long land. Leg loses money. Looked at them, MTEX, I think they're losing money as well as MTIP. OARC, again, we want to see a bottom in ARC-K. This is the Yomax dividend payer on ARC. I've been keeping an eye on ARC-K as this is continuing to go down as ARC-K goes down. Again, we're watching Pfizer. REM is rare earth materials we watch, or I guess that's REMX. Talked about Siri last week and the special situation with Siri and Liberty Capital, and we'll be releasing that. I am watching Siri to see where it finds a bottom, see if there's an opportunity there. Again, we discussed that last week as well. Watch Treasuries. The dollar, if you want to long the dollar. VFCs, apparel, don't like that very much. And then also we're, again, log TSLY currently. Okay, just trying to read some of the comments real quickly. So Ellen's talking about Bitcoin miners shutting down and more coins for others. We talked about the halving a while back. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I think you're going to see other miners where it's now just too costly for them to continue operating, given they get half the reward they used to get. So again, not surprising, and you possibly see some consolidation. So yeah, some of those that might be profitable, you might see some opportunities there. Okay, let me grab another quick drink and we'll talk about our various option strategies. I want to focus on this question that Gabe asked last week. Okay, in addition to using dividend payers to generate income while we wait for our top swing trading stocks to watch to play out, we also use various option strategies to also generate income. So one of which is we sell covered calls against our positions when they're going up, buy them back when they're coming down, and then we sell cash secured puts when stocks are going down, buy them back when they're coming back up. And we had this question from Gabe Fade last week, particular scenario on Google. He asked if I buy 100 shares of Google at 153.18 and I sell the 426 140 call for 14 premium, then assuming Google remains above 140, do I gain $82? So I wanted to try to answer this question, and also we want to talk about assignment and the various scenarios for getting assigned, at which since you're selling a covered call at 140, if it gets assigned, you're giving the buyer of that option the option to buy your Google shares at 140, and you got $14 in premium for that option for them to buy them at 140. So I also asked ChatGPT, so if I sell covered call at 140 for a premium of 14, at what strike price will that covered call most likely get assigned for me to sell my shares? So even though it's at 140, that person paid $14, so they may not want to buy your shares at between 140 and essentially 154. So you can see the break-even point is the strike price plus the premium received. So the break-even point for that buyer is 154. But if the stock goes above 154 higher before the option expiration date, your shares are likely to be assigned and sold at the strike price of 140. Now that would be, potentially early assignment. So if the stock got above 155, 154, that buyer of that option could, ask for those shares at that time, and they would be buying them at 140. So you would get 140 plus the premium that you collected. And again, we'll look at that in more detail in a second. If it expires between 140 and 154, the buyer of that option would technically be losing money. They would have the option. They could assign it and take your shares at 140 at that time, even though if it was above 140 and below 154, they could ask for that assignment. But again, they would be losing some money on that trade at that point. So additionally, to help answer this question, as well as to help you all answer questions like this on covered calls, I built a new Google Sheet, and we put this Google Sheet in our All Access Patreon patrons Google Drive folder. And again, you can get access also to this Google Sheet as well by joining our Patreon at the All Access or VIP level. You can make a copy of this and use it to, do these hypothetical what ifs on your various covered calls. Also track them in near real time. So again, I put the Google Finance functions with the current prices for Google, so we can see right now Google's at 171, so it is above that break-even price. So I put how much did you pay for the shares, how many options are you selling, at what strike price, what expiration. I guess I can make those columns white. Again, this is all manual at this point in time. So if you sell that option at 14, you're going to get a premium equal to the sale price of that option times the number of shares. So you'll get $1,400. So when that expires, if it were to expire worthless, you could either keep your $1,400, or you could consider the cost basis of your 100 shares to be reduced by the amount of that premium. So I put the adjusted cost basis in there with that calculation. Now, if it expires, if it gets assigned, then what I did is took D, so strike price minus your cost basis, so 140 minus your new cost basis, essentially times 100 times the number of strike prices or number of options that you sell. So your profit would be 82 if that gets assigned and you end up having to sell those shares at 140. So to answer Gabe's question, if it does get assigned, then the profit will be 82. We talked about the probability of it getting assigned. So again, the break even for the buyer of that option is 154. So if they don't want to take a small loss on that transaction, then they may not go ahead with the assignment. And in that case, you would collect the $1,400. Again, you could pocket that cash, or you could consider the cost basis of your Google shares to have been reduced down to 139.18. Then again, you can repeat this process and use this Google Sheet to track the reductions in your cost basis, the increases in your profit as you sell additional options against that position, covered calls against that position. Again, I put a tracking of the distance of the current price from your strike price, which now again, the current price is above the strike price. So, this would likely get assigned at this point. Could be early assigned, or it could be assigned at expiration. So I hope that helps. I hope that answers this question and also gives you a tool that you can use to answer questions like this about selling covered calls, what the profitability would be, etc. If there's additional information that you'd like us to add to this covered calls Google Sheet, I'd love to hear your feedback. Let me know what you think of this. Is it helpful? What additional information would you like to see in something like this, and how else can we help you, again, generate income with covered calls? And then again, we'll talk about cash secured puts in a second. So again, I'd love your feedback on what you think of all this. Again, it's now accessible in the Patreons folder. on our Google Drive that, again, are all access, and BIP Patreons get access to all of these Google Sheets. So again, you can make a copy, use them for yourself, etc. So again, the other strategy we discussed is that we sell cash secured puts, get stocks going down, buy them back when they're going back up, and we use our puts ROIC Google Sheet to help us identify opportunities to sell puts and then buy them back. So I want to look at some additional opportunities there. We have seen the VIXs going up a little bit. So again, some of the premiums in these options getting a little more attractive. So we are looking for other ways to use option strategies as well as sell more puts. And last week we talked about we sold a put at 150 on Tesla. We sold that before earnings. Tesla is now above 150, so that put is generating a nice profit at this time. I have not bought it back yet, but again, I could and take that profit at any time. So let me grab a quick drink and we'll look at additional opportunities to sell and buy back puts. Couple quick updates to our puts ROIC Google Sheet is I've added IBM at 135. Again, when they got the negative reaction to earnings, dipped down, I wanted to see if that might be an attractive one to sell puts on. So I put it in at 135 strike. I put the expiration all the way out to January 25 to see if it could generate a decent enough premium. So we'll track that one in the research sheet. Also, another consideration on Pfizer, another way, instead of buying the shares, I could sell a cash secured put, like down at 24, which is below, the support price. So I'm also looking at that as an option. So we have the option, we could buy the shares, we could sell a cash secured put, we could do both, whatever looks like the most attractive way to play Pfizer. Also, I'm going to update couple of the options that we currently have in there. I'm going to move CAR, which is Avis, down to 90. I'm going to move Whirlpool down to 90. Again, those continue to break down. We talked about both CAR, Avis, and Whirlpool last week. We added them to our sheet. And again, on Monday, I'll move those strike prices down, and they'll get updated in the our puts ROIC Google Sheet at the end of Monday. Again, we have a whole series of videos, option strategies for beginners with examples on how you can use our puts ROIC Google Sheet to also generate revenue. And then we have a whole playlist of various topics on options. So again, how to sell covered calls in E-Trade and Webull, etc. Information on puts, options Greeks, etc. All in our options playlist. So if anyone has a specific put that you'd like us to look at in our puts ROIC, or again, if you'd like us to add a put to our ROIC Google Sheet, we'll do the research on it. Just let us know the symbol, the strike price, expiration date, etc. So here's our main watch list sheet. See, I already have a sale on Tesla. Hopefully y'all again, we talked about this last week. I sold it at 940. Hopefully other BeachBum traders were able to sell it at an even higher price. It went up to 1650. So you could have made significantly more money than I did so far. And again, a much higher ROIC on that at that 1650. Now it's dropped down to $2. So I could collect a 740 net premium at this time, or I can just let it decay and hopefully Tesla will keep going up, so the value of this option will keep going down, and then I can buy it back or let it expire worthless on the 17th. So that's the only one in our main watch list that's got a 5% or better ROIC right now. As you can see, CAR right now is below that 95, or it's very close to that 95 strike price. So I think I'll lower that down. The delta is over our target of 30%. So I'm going to lower it down and see what the premium on CAR turns out to be. IBM, so we added IBM at 135. See how that, right now, ROIC is not that great. See if I found some resistance level, a previous high at about 1145. That'd give me 6%. Market, MKTX we've looked at, not real attractive yet and very expensive. Match, similarly. Sam Adams, again, ROIC is not very good. Again, Whirlpool, again, I think I'll lower that. You can see it's currently below the strike price. So again, I'm going to lower that to 90 and see what that premium comes out to be. So again, we're getting more that look attractive. Again, if you want to do short-term options trading, selling puts and buying them back, again, you can use our puts ROIC to see who's coming down, going down in green, bouncing back up in red. And again, you can see what the premiums would be. Again, the gray columns in here are updated at the end of the day based on the options data that our automated systems collect. So again, I hope that all helps. Again, if you'd like us to do research on any others, we can plug them into our automated systems, have it update our Google Sheet subsequently. So just let us know if you'd like us to look at any others for selling puts. So okay, I had a lot to cover today. So again, I've got a couple additional stocks that people have asked to look at. Gerald Fitz had previously asked to look at BTSG, and Easy Mike wanted us to look at MPWR. So let me grab a quick drink and we'll look at those two. Also, I see Alan Krentz is asking about Mara, so we'll try to look at Mara as well. So first I want to look at BTSG for Gerald Fitz. So BTSG, Bright Spring Health Services, Healthcare, Health Information Services. Go back to the daily. So it looks like a relatively new stock. Is this a SPAC? It looks like a SPAC. I'm not a big fan of SPACs. Looks like they lost money, missed estimates. Revenue was in line. Pretty sizable market cap. Again, it's probably because it was a SPAC. A lot of debt is optionable. Significant discrepancy between the shares outstanding and shares float, so watch out for an offering. Performance not great. Again, significant debt. Obviously, we don't have enough data to see if they made money yet. See what they are. Platform of complementary health services, delivery pharmacy, doing online health services and pharmacy. Again, they're going to run into competition from like Amazon. Amazon's tried to do this. They haven't been terribly successful yet at it. But again, competitive issues with Amazon. So their net income's negative, so they lose money. EPS negative, they lose money. So, I mean, I'm not a big fan. We can see very quickly what it looks like in ChartMill if we've got any data. So let's go to ChartMill and see what it says, if anything. So again, you can find the link to ChartMill also on our homepage. See what ChartMill has to say. Looks like I have to log in. Okay. So I'm going to come back to this one, and I'll log in later and look at that ChartMill. So I apologize. Again, I had jumped into ChartMill. Looks like my Chrome got updated, so I would recommend also looking at it in ChartMill and see what it has to say in terms of their solvency, etc. So I will try to follow up, and maybe we'll look at that again in ChartMill next week. So I do hope that answers the question and helps. Easy Mike asked to look at MPWR. So look at that real quickly. I've looked at this a number of times. Easy Mike's been mentioning this. Monolithic power systems, a semiconductor. You see it bounced off that lower trend line support, close to the moving average, bounced pretty nicely. It's approaching the shorter term moving average, probably going to run into some resistance there. Again, it's pretty high, not a whole lot of upside. Some downside down to that moving average, which is also, close to these previous tops. So that's probably a good bounce area. So again, 560-ish, 570-ish, not a huge lot of upside in terms of a swing trade. Pretty sizable company, 33 billion in market cap, 427 in income, so profitable. PE's pretty high, 77, very high. No debt, it's optionable. No big discrepancies. Performed very well this year. So again, momentum stock, short-term trades. If you were able to trade that bounce, see it gapped up, extended. Again, I think you're going to get some resistance at that moving average. It'll probably bounce down, possibly retest, refill that gap. We'll see. Integrated power semiconductor solutions. So this is part of the architecture for AI. So, hot topic. So we can see why their big run up. So they've benefited significantly from that build out in AI infrastructure. So they make good money. Again, the only issue is it's very high right now, and the PE is extremely high. So again, some adjustment. Net income, so they're making good money, although it looks like it's might have flattened out a little bit. Yeah, so their EPS, their income might have flattened out a little bit. So after the big FOMO, AI FOMO pop, might be coming back to where they previously were. So we may see, the price coming back also to its previous levels. Next earnings on May 1st. So again, if they, beat on earnings, you'll hear more data about, how is this AI infrastructure? How are they benefiting from that? What's the guidance? I think a lot of that will determine, might get a nice pop or, significant drop based on what they say going forward. So we saw that with the semiconductors. Intel very poor. So NVIDIA tends to be very positive. So you can listen to MPWR, but again, I assume Easy Mike's looking at it for a very short-term day trade scalping type opportunity, and you can see it offers some nice opportunities there, and you can see where the upward channel, you see where the resistance and supports are. Right now it's between its moving averages, so again, short-term trading, scalping might be some opportunities there, but again, it's, PE is very high, so not something I would look at for a long-term swing or a long-term hold at this point in time. Again, my opinion, none of this should be considered financial advice. We're not financial advisors. All of our content is for education and entertainment purposes only. So lastly, I quickly look at Mara for Alan. So this is Alan. So as you pointed out and we discussed, we might see some consolidation of some of the Bitcoin miners due to the halving of the rewards. Price hasn't doubled yet, so we don't have a compensation in Bitcoin price for the halving in their rewards. Does look like Mars is profitable. So we'll look at the details in a second. Their P's, it's high, but not too much. They don't have debt, so that's positive. It is optionable. Not a big discrepancy with shares, so not a high risk of offerings unless they're losing money. 100% performance in the past year, so very positive. We saw the run up in Bitcoin and new all-time highs, so they obviously benefited quite a bit. So their last earnings, they beat, so that was positive. They beat on revenue. Again, Bitcoin's price has been high, came back down a little bit. Now they should go up with the halving. So they are now making money. They're now EPS positive. So again, net income, again, positive now. So and a significant increase in the last quarter. EPS increasing, again, nice jump. So they did very well when the Bitcoin price hit a new top. Look at them a little longer term, so plenty of upside, from the past. So yeah, Mara for a Bitcoin miner looks pretty good. Again, not a lot of debt. They're making money. They might be one that could buy, some of the others that are not profitable. So, and I know they have this equipment. I don't know if they're going to have to upgrade their equipment or just buy more equipment due to the halving, because now it's going to take, double the processing, double the energy to earn Bitcoins. I'm sure they probably also mine Ethereum and possibly some other coins that don't have that issue. It doesn't say so here, but again, you may have additional information. I'm just assuming they also mine Ethereum, which did not experience that halving, but also won't get the price appreciation. But there is discussion about Ethereum ETFs like Bitcoin recently had, and that caused a nice pop in Bitcoin. So we'll see if Ethereum ETFs get approved and if that gives them a boost as well. So I hope that answers the question, Alan. And again, my humble opinion, I would want to catch more on a dip. It looks like this 15 is pretty good support level. You got upside up into the 30s, so that's a 2-to-1er. So yeah, this might be one that's worth watching for a Bitcoin miner. I'm glad to see that they're profitable. I know most of the Bitcoin miners are not and were not profitable. So again, I hope that answers the question, and I hope that all helps. So again, if anyone else has any other questions, please post some comments to this video. If I missed your question in the chat, I apologize, but again, please put it in the comments to this video, or you can ask in our Discord. Our Discord's free to join. All the other channels, with the exception of the few under the Patreon section that I mentioned before, are all free to join. We'd love to have you join our Discord and actively participate in our Discord. You can find an invite to our Discord or free Discord in the description box below. So again, you can tag us. We're at BeachBum Trading, all lowercase, no other characters, letters, etc. anyone else is an imposter. So again, if you have any questions, also we'd love to hear your recommendations for improvement to our weekly trading game plans, any of our other videos, tools, our community, etc. Please let us know how can we add more value for all of our fellow BeachBum traders. How can we help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career. Gerald Pitts asked us if is there a general chat in our Discord. A lot of people talk general topics and beach parties, so the answer is yes. There is a general chat room in the Discord. Also, I've seen in the past some people have asked for a daily chat, and you guys can chat in any of these channels 24/7. Also, if you want to create a voice channel, you can participate in a voice channel. You can probably create your own voice channels. I think you can even share screens, etc. I'm not a big fan of voice channels during the trading week, as I'm typically listening to CNBC and on one side, and I've got a YouTube show on the other side, so it's difficult to also be in a voice channel. But if that's something that you all would like, I know we've had other BeachBum traders who are interested in voice type channels during the trading week. So that is something that you can use as well. You see, we've also got day trading, swing trading channels. So again, you guys can use this at any time, 24/7 during the trading week. Get together with your fellow traders with whatever asset classes, trading styles, etc. that you prefer. I'd love to see more of you utilizing, participating in our Discord community, which mutually benefits all the participants. So I hope that all helps. So thank you again for all your participation. For everyone that's watching after the fact, thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for April 29th through May 3rd. We hope that you all come back. We hope you'll subscribe to our channel. Please hit the like button to hopefully help us get some love from the YouTube algorithm someday. And we really need your help with sharing our content directly. So please share our content with your fellow traders and friends. Please repost our social media postings, etc. Again, help us continue to build our BeachBum trading community for the benefit of all of our BeachBum traders. And we appreciate all of your support and participation. And we hope to see you back here next week for next week's weekly trading game plan. Good luck and have a great trading week.